Okay, Leo, let's talk about all this stuff. Are you playing with fire? I feel like you're playing with fire, or the temptation to play with fire is really strong. What I mean by playing with fire is clearly there's someone in your life that has substantially impacted you. Okay? And what did I say about their emotional? They're a good person. There's not any, let's just say they're a good person. But they brought something out in you that was not so good. Maybe they didn't validate you, so they made you feel forgotten. They made you feel rejected. Maybe you felt like there was lost potential. They hurt you. You hurt them. Maybe there was, I always call it emotional cutting, like when you really love someone and maybe they can't give you, or they don't really love you back in the same way, or they don't want that commitment or whatever it is. And then you just kind of keep trying. I often see that with the Five of Cups, right? It's kind of like sorrow or sadness or longing. And the eclipses it really does. It brings out the stuff that we've worked so hard to get over and we think we are. And like, look, we can't discount what came out first. The first layer of cards is foundational and it's so positive. And I think the overlays really are the eclipse energy coming out and being like, you're going to still, feel these feelings. But it's passing. And it's healing and it's cathartic. So it's good. But I don't like how this person made you feel. I don't like that they made you feel rejected or isolated or felt, like clearly it was imbalanced, or it is imbalanced. Clearly there's difficulty with reciprocity. Maybe you don't speak the same love language. Maybe this is someone that would rather give you a gift than spend time with you or something like that, I think they value you. I think they see you also as the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands that you are. I think they see you as a good influence in their life. There's no ill will at all. On either side. It just kind of is. Now, with the Knight of Swords, let's talk about this. Well, obviously. So when I'm looking at this first and I say it's someone else, it is someone else. And I think someone else wants them and someone else is very much into them and all of that. And you are very much kind of standing to the side and watching and seeing, and feeling a lot of things and thinking about a lot of stuff. And I think in a way, this is kind of something that had to happen in order for you to say, well, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm changing, I'm evolving, and I'm really stepping into this whole new version of myself, and it's all okay. And I think in many ways you're working through a lot of, maybe forgiveness is the right word. You're working through a lot of that. But on another side, it's also you. And I'm wondering if there's going to be communication with this person this month. There's going to be somewhat of a probably superficial conversation, which might be really annoying. Super annoying because it's like, I don't just want to talk about the weather. Can we talk about the real stuff? Can we talk about the stuff that's causing the devil and the lovers to come out together, like for reals? Please. Can we talk about the real stuff? Can we get the closure? But at the same time, there's emotional security, there's emotional safety going on with this person specifically, you protecting yourself from them. There is distance, and I think it is that distance by choice. And there's, in a way, you're watching them and they're watching you as well. You're both kind of keeping your eye on each other. This really might need to be someone that you truly let go for good this month. To truly let them go, to truly look the other way. And it can be hard, doing whatever you got to do. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a specific love interest or a person. It can be a project. I just want to put that out there too for people who aren't here for love. The King of Swords can represent a lot of things, any of the court cards. They don't have to represent a person. It's like you can love a King of Swords, but it's not going to love you back, kind of thing. And I feel like a project or money can be that as well. It's critical that you play it cool. Four of Cups. The tendency to sink back into the past psychological patterns with this person, right? Maybe spying, maybe looking at their social media, maybe getting validated when they like one of your pictures. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it is for you, but I'm just kind of getting that superficial vibe from this because it's always like social media or texting or something that's just like, oh, please, But there's still something going on there. And all this hard work that you've done, all this, healing and all this good stuff that, all these other things, these projects, this creativity. I know you're doing so much. I see my Leos doing so much. They're really putting it out there. They're really saying like, forget it. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of caring what people think of me. Like, I'm really just going to be what I am. And there's a little bit of eccentricity with you guys because of the Aquarian opposite. And I think the Aquarius and the Leo, I've been seeing this whole like, where do they meet in the middle thing? I don't know why this month specifically. Like, where do you guys meet in the middle with your opposite? Eccentricity and creativity. 100% innovation in the center of the two. And I think you're tapping into that, and you've been tapping into that. And I think that the universe has been calling you, like, Leo, please create. It is your job. It is your duty. That's your leadership, creation. The creation of the universe is a Leo quality. And you're stepping into it. And you're seeing that for what it is. And I think you're seeing the connection with this person or this thing for what it is too. And it's weird because I'm wondering if you're seeing it through another person. You're seeing a past self in another person. And it's putting it all into perspective. Clearly, there's something about perspective going on here with all the swords and the Hanged Man coming out. It's about seeing it for what it is. And that can be harsh. The Ace of Swords is not a teddy bear. It doesn't come and give you a big fat hug. It's a machete that cuts a path for you through the jungle. And that's what it does. And it pierces your ego and it humbles you like crazy. But it is so healthy. I wish that we all could be walking around with Ace of Swords mindsets most of the time, right? Because if we were all a little bit more realistic with ourselves, when I say realistic, I don't mean like limiting your goals. I mean like, yeah, I said that because of my ego. Okay, I'll do better next time, right? That's the kind of realism that I mean. And if we were all a little bit more realistic like that, sorry, I'm trying to adjust my microphone. If we were all just a little bit more realistic like that, then I think that we really could make a lot more progress a lot faster. I think you see that, and I think you're stepping into that. So I'm getting even tired just looking at this one. Your higher self, your son, your higher self is really trying to get a handle on stuff. And whatever the heck happened, Tower reversed, clearly this was a big deal. Clearly this person is someone important, like I said before, because the Ten of Swords doesn't just happen. The Devil doesn't just happen. Like it doesn't. That's not how it works. Like, this takes time. And this occurs and it tells you that something's done. It's completely outdated. It's like a fad, a trend that's no longer cool, and that it's time for you to really make that shift. I wanted to think about this one for a second. Typically, this is, feeling stuck, a feeling of suffocation sometimes, or feeling trapped. And some of you may be feeling trapped, like if this is an actual marriage and maybe the love has fallen, you may be feeling trapped. If it's a business partnership and this person isn't even present, mentally anymore, and they're just gone doing your thing, and you're like, wow, I really need to get out of this. It's possible, But there's something else that I'm seeing with it. I'm not quite putting my finger on it. Let me pull out maybe another card for the Eight of Swords specifically. Like it's wanting to say more. The liberation from the Eight of Swords is there. It was interesting because I pulled this one out and it lined up with the black one. And I pulled this one out and it lined up with the white one. Kind of, you can see even the kind of similarity in color with these, with the black, with that one. And then the Tower, which is reversed, which does weaken the strength of the Tower. This is what it is. This is what it is. It's faith. You don't have to see where this is all going. You don't have to see the healing. You don't have to plan it out. You don't even really have to consciously be like, okay, higher self, do something. It can help to do that, but you don't have to, because the higher self is just doing the work anyway. And the time has come for this to end. The time has come for the caring or the emotional or mental intensity to just dissolve. It's time for it to dissolve, truly. It truly is. When I get a King of Swords and a King of Coins, I'm laughing because there's such a cool nature, right? We're getting the Aquarian and the Taurus archetype. We're also getting the Leo archetype coming out, or the Scorpio archetype coming out here as well. So if you're dealing with a person, they don't have to be any of those signs, okay? But they can take on that energy and, oh my gosh, the most problematic in the zodiac, right? In terms of opening their heart and being available. I mean, we're getting them boom, 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 one after another. And then we get the Emperor. Good person, yes, but definitely still has his armor on underneath. Heart upside down. Like, yeah, heart upside down. Like, where does this person have emotion? Does this person care at all? What are they even doing? What's their business getting into relationship if they're like that? It's like, what do they get out of it? Kind of even. What do they get out of the relationship when their heart's not available? Why get in the relationship in the first place? Right? It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, kind of what I'm feeling. When the Lovers comes out with the Devil, I often connect them and say that the Lovers has gone sour. Because the Lovers can be so chemically driven sometimes when we're speaking about adrenaline and dopamine and all these other kinds of chemicals that get released, right? And when we have romantically amazing sex with someone, we can get sort of clouded and hazy and make those kinds of bad decisions based on that, and we can misinterpret that as our intuition. And when that goes sour, it can go sour really, really fast. Clearly, there's been some limits reached, as the Devil always represents. The limits have been reached. It's done. You've reached the end. You've reached the wall. And now it's time for that wall to come crumbling down. If this is in fact a love interest that's very much present in your life, that again, the communication quality of the Two of Cups coming out, I do question whether or not they're going to be communicative with you this month. And that could be a part of the wall. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't understand why you're not talking to me. I'm here, I'm available, I'm fair-minded, I'm diplomatic, I'm kind, I'm graceful, I'm elegant. Like, why don't you want to talk to me about this? There's no judgment here. And I really don't think that you're in a judgmental space. Judgmental, like critical, it's not harsh, it's not mean. It is compassionate. There is an element of mercy with the Queen of Swords. She sees the human component there. But for some reason, this person is afraid. And their limits become your limits. Now, you might not even be involved with this person now, but they're showing up. They're showing up because you need to close it out. You need to get rid of it. Eclipses are good for that. And because it's Capricorn-Saturn axis this year in the next several 16 months now, I forget when they officially transition, 17 months maybe now. You have that masculine Saturn with Capricorn and the feminine moon with Cancer. And so home life and work life are on the docket, but I also see, partnerships there too as well. I know it's not Venus, I know it's not Mars, I know it's not Jupiter, but, there are partnerships there too. I see you looking away. They are a stable presence, though. I don't know why. Why are they still so present in your life? If you're married, obviously. If you're a business partner, obviously. But if it's someone from the past and it's someone that you're not connected with, then why are they still here? Why are they so strong? Why are they so strong when clearly you have so much other stuff going on? I don't understand. Maybe you just need to accept something for what it is. You do seem to be very protected, very covered, very cautious here. Does this person represent something you couldn't have, so now you want it even more? Maybe you are trying to manifest something different from this person. I just happened to see the Magician on the bottom, that's why I said that. You are trying to manifest something like this person, but plus the King of Coins, King of Cups, right? Like everything was okay, except he wasn't emotionally available. So like, universe, give me this person and make sure he's got a heart. Make sure he's not covered in armor. Make sure they're not drenched in their own psychological problems and their own limits, right? Because this is often someone that will shut down when they reach that limit. They just shut down. And it's really bad in relationships because they're not willing to talk. And then the other person is like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And then it creates an environment of toxicity rather than an environment of vulnerability and safety and trust. I'm wondering if you're kind of like, what the heck, if you hear from this person, if they resurface, if there's a synchronicity and you talk about them or hear about them or whatever. I do feel a weirdness there. Like you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with this information. I wouldn't worry about it. The universe is going to show you the way, right? Your higher self there. It's going to show you the way. It's showing you the way out. I think the universe is conspiring in your favor right now with the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, and these two cards coming out. Conspiring in your favor to, one, break you free from whatever these swords are and whatever these swords relationships are with this person, and to bring in new love. It's kind of like a two-way thing, liberation and bringing in something new with the cup upright. So I wouldn't be afraid of fully releasing this from your life once and for all. That release could entail deleting their phone number, consciously attuning to other things. Like I was talking to my sister, several months, well, maybe over a year now, a long time ago. And, she was really in love with someone who didn't love her back. I think, we've all kind of been there at some point in our life. And when they broke up, after they broke up, she had heard through the grapevine that he had just purchased a new car, like a Jeep Rubicon. And she's like, I don't know why, but like now all I see are Jeep Rubicons. I see them all over the streets. She's like, I didn't even know there were that many in Vegas. And of course, they're like all over the place, right? It's kind of a common car, maybe not super common, but it's common enough. And she'd never seen them before. And then all of a sudden she started seeing them everywhere simply because she was attuned to her ex-boyfriend's energy, right? So it's about attuning yourself to something else, attuning yourself to different kinds of projects, different kinds of things, so that you're not constantly being set up to seeing all these reminders. This person's still not available. Okay, I just want you to know that. This person is still shut down. This person is still confronting their own limitations. They're still in the same space. I think you've grown substantially. But see, you're coming out cardinal. I know you're a fixed sign. I know that. But I'm just saying, right now, you're coming out as queens. Powerful, forceful, driven. What's next, And this person is coming out fixed, meaning it's the same. And you can expect the same. You can expect the same experience that you've always gotten if you do connect with this person. And it's probably not the experience that you want. Without a doubt, these eclipses are going to illuminate a lot of things. And they are going to free you up of all this stuff, because clearly the wheel is like right there. Like, okay, come on, Leo, let's go. Come on. We got to get through. We got to get there. We got to go, It's not worth hanging on to. And I know that you're sitting here and saying, okay, what's worth keeping and what's worth letting go? If you're married, right, and this is a forever connection, I'm not saying you're getting divorced, not what I'm saying, but you're going to have to find a way to make it work, and it's got to be a little bit painful. And I think this person you're dealing with is going to need to deal with the pain a little bit, even though they're not going to like it. And you're going to have to be the guiding force, the guiding channel for this whole thing. Okay? You're going to need to do that. Death is always a process. It always takes time. But with all the wheels, I'm like, maybe not that much time. I don't know, the end is pretty close. And to have the Chariot taking hold of the Ten of Swords, I don't know, I think it's pretty close. And I don't know that you're going to really have to work that hard. It's just all about time, right? That's what they always say. Time is the healer of all wounds. Yes, it is. Because eventually you just stop caring. Eventually you just get bored. You just get bored of the issue. You get bored of the problem. And you just move on. So that's what's happening. Kind of intense, but also still really exciting. And it is worth it for you to be excited rather than fearful in any way. Things are happening exactly the way they should. All right? Thank you so much. Take care, you guys. I love you. Stay bright. Bye-bye.